I'm not trying to make it too broad because I want to really focus on the topic. Even though our friend said on his show, what are gender roles? What are, X, Y, and Z?
Right.
And, the clinician was saying that she doesn't believe in gender roles, only teamwork. Now, it makes sense.
Okay.
But there's certain things that men should do, women should do, right? For example, do you see a female agent in the Navy SEAL Team 6?
I don't see it, but I'm not saying that it isn't. She doesn't exist. But as far as what they do, I don't think a woman's even just physical being could handle on numerous, missions. Not saying that she couldn't do it, but I don't think for the long haul and to be in the right frame of mind. And once again, I mean, here's an area that we might have some issues with, and I bring them on because that just makes the conversation even better. But I think because of the psychological and the way women, the way they view things. I mean, we had a conversation before, and my thing with is men are waffles, women are spaghetti. Okay, and when I say that, I mean men are very compartmentalized. If you look at a waffle, there's nodules separated, right? Women are spaghetti. Everything is intertwined. When you put spaghetti together, you throw it on the plate, it's just on the plate. And so women think like that, everything at once, all at once. We don't think like that because we are not wired that way. And so, no disrespect, if let's say the woman, the Navy SEAL woman is out in an operation, and she decides that because of whatever's going on in her life, now it's part of this mission. It's not specifically part of the mission, but because it's where she is and how she's internalizing things, it now becomes part of the mission. And the problem with men, because we don't think like that, we'll give her a hard time, or why do you think now we have to realize that that's who she is, and vice versa with women. It's like they come at us and certain things. Why didn't you think like this? It's like, well, because to be truthfully honest, I don't think like that.
And the difference in that is because women are emotional creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Men are logical creatures. Now, I'm not saying that either is wrong or right. I'm just pointing out the difference. Your analogy of men are waffles and women are like spaghetti, very beautiful. I was talking to this young lady, and I was describing what you were trying to say. And she was saying, how is it that my past is affecting me right now? I'm like, okay, think about it like this. The same amount of water, let's say one bottle of water,
Okay.
right? But you want to make ice out of it. Now, there's a Tupperware, empty Tupperware, versus the ice cube maker. When you're pouring the water in, something goes into the water, right? So the Tupperware gets mixed up. And the compartmentalized ice cube maker only has that part that's contaminated. That is the definition of how a man thinks and a woman thinks, right? That's a difference. I'm not saying that either are wrong or right, but that's just how women carry all of their trauma and experiences and then move forward in life. That's how men treat their experiences and trauma in life. I'm not saying that they learn or not. I'm just saying the experiences and what they go through in life gets compartmentalized differently and mixed differently and applied differently to their past, present, and future.
Right.
And that's why I think we have to unite, because the difference in the two makes us beautiful.
Right.
So if it's one-sided, it's lopsided, it's not going to work. But now that there's a fashion on toxic masculinity is going around, I think we should take it. Okay, we'll take it. But let's talk about toxic femininity too. And I'm toxic and, I'm okay with that. And, okay, I get it. if we're going to be in a circle with that conversation, let's look at the circle that we're going in, stop, assess, and then move on, because it's too much.
You said something that's real key. It's the unite part. And I think both sides of the equation need to understand that, yes, your view is important, which is, we have to respect each other to realize that, yes, your stance is valid. But on the flip side, so is mine. And so the only way that we're going to get to resolution is to have conversation. And there's the thing that we need to realize, that if you don't have the conversation, resolution never happens. I don't care what it is in any discrepancy or any problem in the world. If they're not communicating, you don't get to the resolution. And so if we keep feeding one side of it as being the problem and not realizing it's not necessarily what's being done, it's just how you're receiving it. And so let's break down that conversation into saying, okay, so how do you receive it? What are you hearing? And then being okay to hear what they're saying and not get offended because it's not necessarily what you believe. But in order for us to get to resolution, your side needs to be heard as well as mine. And then, okay, so if we agree to disagree, that's fine. But then let's get to a point where we can continue to move in the same direction. Because otherwise, like you said, it's going to be one-sided and it's just going to keep going around in circles.